Welcome to the Night Club, guys. It's your host, the Night Wrencher. Now, a couple weeks ago, I actually had my truck explode on me on the freeway. It locked up, probably broke my fifth gear in my transmission, and now I have a nice little hole inside of my differential. My differential cover. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm actually going to take the cover off and see if we can try to fix it. One interesting thing about this is that if I spin one wheel, the other one doesn't spin. I mean, it'll move a little bit. Like I'm actually spinning it right now. And you guys can see the other one in the background. It's not even moving. So this is gonna be a surprise. Guys, you're not gonna believe this. Check this out. Okay, so here's my diff. Gears, as far as I know, they're still intact, which is great. But look at this. This is a little S-spring that holds the pinion together. Look at this. Completely mangled. Let's see if I could spin it. Can't. Well, no, obviously I can't. Let's see. Nope. So this is the aftermath of my Ford 8.8 carrier. Here is actually the center pin with a bunch of broken teeth on the spider gear. Here's another spider gear. This one's got a chipped tooth, and it looks like something stuck in here in itself. And then you've got the LSD assembly on this side, which they're probably still in fairly good shape. I probably can just clean them up and then go ahead and reuse them. So what ended up happening was that on the center pin, you can't see it anymore because it's chopped off. There used to be a pin, like a bolt that ran through the center pin that kept everything in place. It used to go kind of like this. Used to, because it's too small now. So it used to go somewhat like this, and there was a center pin here and a bolt used to go all the way through. So that bolt you need to Loctite in order for you to prevent the bolt from backing out and then having the center pin fall in. So that's what ended up happening. The bolt actually fell out. The center pin started sliding. It got to the point where it started contacting something, and then it started making a mess inside. It started destroying pretty much everything. If this would have been a drum brake axle, my axles would have been flying out of the freeway, because as you can see, the C-clips fell out as well. Here's the other spider gear. This one seems to be in decent shape, but it's still, you can still feel that it did get a little bit of an impact. This spring is still in good shape. This spring got completely mangled for the LSD. There's teeth, pieces of teeth all over the place. There's metal all over the place. The carrier itself, I actually needed to take the gears off because the gears were in bad shape because some of the teeth were chipped, but they weren't in terrible shape because I could still use it. So what I did, I took it apart, but I couldn't take the gear set off, so I had to cut the carrier in half. So this didn't happen from the center pin. I actually cut this in half, and then I pulled my gear set out because it's actually stuck somewhere along here. So I cut it in half, pulled my gear set off, and then set this aside. That's when I realized that all of this is like this. So basically now I can use it as spare parts. I can clean these up and then reuse them for my LSD if I decide to rebuild it. What I ended up doing, I pulled the carrier off my extra Ford 8.8. I pulled the 373 gears that it had on it before, and I installed my 456 gears on it, and then I actually Loctite everything and threw it on there. The gears are making a little bit of noise, but I only needed to walk around while I order a new set of gears, probably a new carrier, and then clean out the housing to get rid of the rest of the metal. Originally, I thought that the Ford 8.8 broke because I was putting too much power through it. Turns out that wasn't the case at all. It was just me not assembling it properly. I was surprised that the rebuild that I did was actually fairly spot on. The teeth were in excellent shape. So my initial thoughts that I left the differential too loose was not the issue at all. Probably if I had done this correctly, if I had put Loctite on and everything like I was supposed to, I wouldn't have had any issues. So as far as I know, this thing can handle 250 horsepower, 300 pounds of torque, because that's what my truck is putting out currently. I plan to rebuild my Ford 8.8, probably put all the stock components, and then let's see how long it lasts. I'm just happy that the axles didn't fly out because the C-clips fell out. So you guys got to be careful about that one. So anyway, that's what happened to my Ford 8.8. I'll see you guys on the next one. Night Wrencher out.